Hey, what's going on, everybody? Adam Von Rothfelder here, and welcome to another episode of Up and Adam, where we interview people to find out what motivates and drives their day to create success through passion and purpose. And today's guest, we're going to be interviewing Bobby Patton, the CEO and founder of SHEATH Underwear, a company that's reshaping underwear to help you stay more comfortable, reduce friction, and even have a medical application. Bobby was part of the military. He has suffered from PTSD, and through this tragedy, he has created a triumphant moment. Raising a daughter, getting a master's degree. You guys, this is a good one. Get ready for Up and Adam. I mean, it's great. I'm glad you were able to come out. I know it was super last minute.
Yep.
So it's exciting to have you out here. In Venice, California, you can clearly see. I took you to one of the best spots because you can see the Venice sign. We're here at Great White. Where did Bobby come from?
I mean, I was born in San Antonio. My dad was in the military. His dad was in the military. I didn't join right out of high school. I went to college because they thought that would be better for me. But when, after 9/11 and after the economy was not going so well, especially my personal economy, I felt like sometimes the universe kind of moves you in a direction, and something was telling me to join the military. And I was 26, so I was already mature, and it was actually a really good decision. I did really well in the military. I really enjoyed it. When I got to basic training, I was excited because I'd seen what it was like in the movies, and I knew they were going to grill me and push me to my limit, and I was going to either fold or fly, and I excelled.
How did you, at 26, entering into the military, how did it feel, the leadership that you were exposed to in the military? And was that something that you believe translated now into your current success?
In the Army, they train you to be a leader, and what was cool about it is it's simple. You give your people what they need to do their job for you. Just take care of your employees and they'll do their job. It was that simple. I became a sergeant, which is a non-commissioned officer in the Army, which is not easy to do. You have to put in time and you have to pass these boards and pass all these tests. So I did that, went through all the schools, leadership courses, and it just taught me to lead by example, lead from the front. Don't stay in the back office and bark orders. Get out there, get your hands dirty, show them that you're willing to do it, and then they're willing to do it. I never asked my guys to do anything that I wouldn't do myself.
So when you were in the military, is that when you had the idea for SHEATH Underwear?
It was. I was actually in Iraq on my second tour, which had been significantly less just busy, I guess. People don't know this, but when you're in the military, you're waiting around a lot for something to happen. You're on patrol. So, and I got into yoga. I had watched the movie The Secret, coincidentally, right around that time. I made a vision board.
Started manifesting things.
I really did.
Sounds like you maybe with yoga, released some things.
Yeah, I would go up to the roof of our house that we had and just do yoga and look up at the moon and meditate and think about something bigger than being in Iraq.
You're currently in Iraq. You get your first pair of underwear made. Who do you test them with, and where does it go from that single pair of underwear to where you are right now?
Well, I tested them with myself for a long time. We still had to go to the field a lot, and so I would test them in the field because you can't shower in the field. And then we have all this time, so I'm telling my buddies about them, and they're like, "Oh, that's a great idea." No one ever said it was a bad idea. So they're telling me, I should turn it into a business, and I just so happened to have inherited $70,000 from my grandfather, and I had this idea, so I went ahead and spent that last $5,000 on our first production of SHEATH Underwear in 2010, which, unfortunately, I was so excited about getting the production done. I rushed it, so it wasn't ready, so I essentially had a bad product that I couldn't sell.
Yeah.
So that set me back 3 years. So the lesson from that is don't rush. It's not going to be perfect when you go to your first production, but go through a few trial runs, you know, at least like 3 or 4, and make sure, do your
due diligence.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was so excited. I was like, run the production. I got them. The pouch was too high, so ultimately, like I said, it set me back 3 years.
You know, they say if you're not embarrassed by your first product, then you didn't launch soon enough.
Yeah, well, I was very embarrassed.
Right? So, I mean, you did something right there.
Yeah, they also
right? You had a good lesson.
Yeah, they also say if you wait until it's perfect to release your product, you'll never release it.
Right.
But so it's trial and error. But so what I ended up having to do at that point was, I took those 1,000 pairs. I went to a tailor. I asked him if I could man his counter, if he would let me use his sewing machines and teach me how to sew. So I fixed that entire batch, all 1,000 pairs. We ended up donating most of them or selling them for a huge discount, but it got me working on a new prototype, a better prototype that would ultimately become what is SHEATH today. I put all my eggs in one basket, and I had the faith that if I built it, they would come, and that the concept would be proven in the marketplace by presenting it to the world. And Kickstarter is a great platform. I love it. I mean, it got us off the ground.
You're on mark to do $1 million+ this year, and from a company that you followed in the beginning, and now you're finding fortune, right? So what was that moment that changed something?
I mean, okay, so I'm going to try to say 3 things. One was finding the right manufacturer. Once we found that, it was our 4th manufacturer, we created a relationship with them that has lasted up to this point, and they just do such a good job. They are helping us provide the best product we can.
That's great.
Okay, so you mentioned Gary Vaynerchuk. He helped me get over my fear of getting in front of the camera and talking and telling my story, because prior to that, I always thought you had to be something you're not and try to make yourself out to be bigger than you are, where with him, he said, you don't create don't create some fictitious character, document the journey, just who you are at the time. And so that was very pivotal.
I mean, I just launched a company, right?
Yeah.
And you know, some of the things you're saying, it's like, I launched Strong Coffee 4 years ago once, and I chose the wrong manufacturing.
Yeah.
I messed up with some labels. There was like some little, I was so excited about launching it. I think one of the things, you know, as you said, like almost come back to the idea of patience.
Yeah, patience.
Right? Like you can't have an expectation. You can expect yourself to put in a certain amount.
Yes.
But you can't expect to get out a certain amount. You just have to put in.
Yeah, so if I hadn't learned the principles of success that were applied by Henry Ford and Thomas Edison and Gary Vaynerchuk and all these great entrepreneurs from the past and present, then I feel like I wouldn't be where I'm at today. So I mean, that would be, that's the 3rd thing, is learning the principles of success. They're in all these books, Tony Robbins, you know, like
How to Influence and Make Friends.
Yeah, Dale Carnegie.
Yeah, Dale Carnegie. There's so many incredible books. What is your favorite?
Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill.
Yeah.
I've read it like a dozen times.
Sexual Transmutation.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. Faith. Faith is the 3rd chapter in the book, and it all made sense. It's like a modern day philosophy on success, and every guy that wants to get out of the rat race and the cubicle, you have to start thinking differently, and it's a way of being, of acting. It's not like hard work per se, it's like more than that. You know, you can work hard, you can just spin your wheels on a treadmill all day and go nowhere, but it's like the way you deal with people, and the persistence, patience, belief in yourself, and you know, there's so many things, but it's all out there for you to find. If you search, you'll find it. And I was like searching for the truth, and I believe that I found it.
That's awesome. Wow. I have never had the opportunity to shop with someone that knows such attention to detail in underwear. It's no wonder that Bobby has been able to take a product with a unique value and put it in a market that some would say is saturated. I know that after interviewing Bobby, that SHEATH underwear will have nothing but amazing success, from his ability of leadership to fatherhood, to a true heart that is generous and authentic. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode and that you found value in it. And if you did, I'd love for you to leave a comment, like, follow, share, and get ready for the next episode of Up and Atom.